Baby, I can't lie, you look amazing. Like the models in my Playboy pages. Flashback.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Redskins rebuild. Still working on the roster here. We're getting it chipped away. Getting a ton of good pieces onto this team. So in the last episode we finished by getting all the stragglers off the free agent team. So now we'll solely focus on trading away the top players on our team and acquiring better talent. So position by position, let's lock this stuff down. Jalen Hurts is definitely going to be our starting quarterback. Dwayne Haskins will likely be the second string, barring end of preseason cuts and whatnot. Potentially Josh Rosen is a guy I see pop up a lot in the free agency after preseason, so potentially add him to be the secondary behind Jalen Hurts. But Jalen Hurts definitely going to be my star quarterback this year. Ty Johnson, I'm pretty happy with him being where he is. Obviously, we need to cut Javon Leak. He's not going to have any value to anybody anyway. So potentially cut this roster down a little bit. Probably cut Mark Walton, just because I'm not going to need four running backs on this roster. I'm fine with developing a couple, maybe Adrian Killins and Ty Johnson. Fullback, don't really like to keep a fullback on this roster. Go to the receiving core. We still have a few guys at this position we can trade away. Let's trade away Dontrell. Probably be looking for cornerbacks or something along those lines. So let's see first off if he's got any green trade value anywhere. Just as kind of an experienced 31-year-old. I mean, he probably doesn't have great speed, but he might be a good receiver. Just based off his possession, route running. So he's needed on the Vikings, which have bad. Let's look at the Bears, see what they have to offer us in terms of like rookie players and stuff. Brett Urban, who's I would say underrated. Eddie Pinheiro, we were looking for a kicker for this team. 92 and 73. 92 and 73. Let's look at our kicker. We do have Hopkins, but he's going to have to be traded or probably most likely dropped. 92 and 73. Ooh, it's a close one between those two, so potentially just have to look at the kickers that are close. I mean, a kicker is super easy to acquire, so I'm not going to be too worried about not trading for him at this point. But potentially, we'll make sure that we look into everything. Riley Ridley. No way. We already traded Alex Smith here. I'm glad for him to just rot on this roster for all I give a shit. He's super old. Not really anything here that I want. Everything's kind of like low down the roster. Kendall Vildor. He was better in the previous game, so I guess we'll just move on from this team. See, the Broncos is a team we've already kind of picked through. Let's see who else we get yellow trade value on. Falcons, potentially. I don't know what kind of young talent they've added, but I haven't heard of any breakouts. Mikael Walker. 84, whoa, 84, 80 what? 84, 86, so he might be a good addition to this roster. Ryan Hill, not really looking for that position. Zaikis doesn't quite have the speed. Left guard, but we're kind of already locked up at lineman anyway. Jordan Miller doesn't quite have the speed. Jalen Hawkins, unless he blows me out of the water with his speed, yeah, no. Tootie Mariner, who's been a big part of the roster this year. No, not really any speed. So let's move on from this team. I think there's at least one more, maybe the Vikings. Potentially. Yes, the Vikings. That was our cornerback or something. What was that guy? Was he a receiver? Yeah, it was throwing Trail at Inman. So we'll see if the Vikings got any good useful players to steal. They were usually really good at drafting. They got an offensive lineman. Not really looking for it there. Kind of need cornerbacks. Left outside linebacker potentially to move to the end positions. Ooh. I actually like this guy. We'll put him on there. Harrison Hand if he's got speed. Which he does not. Big rip. Watts we'll put on here. Kind of do need better guys there. Chris Boyd. If he's got speed. He does, but he doesn't have great. Yikes. Some guys down here. Cameron Smith potentially. His speed's not that great for the linebacker that we already added. Tyler Conklin. No real speed there. KJ. Actually, I know KJ's got speed. At least in real life. He has terrible dookie ass speed in this game. Dan Chesia. Bro, he is a safety in our game in Madden 20. He's got amazing fucking speed. Ooh. Dan Chesia, safety turned receiver potentially. I mean, he doesn't have great overall, but Dan Chesia, that would be a story though, wouldn't it? I mean, we're passing up on a 70 overall lineman. But who cares, really? See what it's going to take. Oh my god, it's almost done already? Wow. The players that we could pick up. And the storylines I could develop. Oh, I'm fucking coming in my pants over here. For a old receiver and a 6th round pick, we get a good outside linebacker with insane speed. We get a good defensive tackle, and we get Dan Chesia, safety turned receiver, 23 years old. Too bad he is super far down on this roster. I might just go balls to the wall trying to get him upgraded, just because I love this man. From our other series in Golden Gandy's our best receiver, but he's got terrible speed. Let's try to get Sims Jr. off this team. I bet he'll have more suitors. He's got green with the Bears. Let's see where else, if anywhere else he has green. He's got green with the Eagles. Green with the Jets. Green with the Patriots. Green with the Ravens. So let's see what the Ravens actually have to offer. Green trade value for him, that's insane. But he is youthful, he has great speed, and he's could potentially develop at an insane rate. Let's see, Justin Maduki. Terrible speed. Ooh, a potential defensive tackle for this team. Potential cornerback for this team. No. Geno Stone, he's probably got terrible speed, so yeah, I didn't pick him up on my other radar when I swept through tackles. Right guard, don't really need it. Right tackle. James Prochet, does he have the speed that he should? Definitely not. He is way better than that. Terrell Bonds. No, I'm not sold on any of these cornerbacks that I'm seeing. Khalil Dorsey changed my mind. Yes, sir. Let's take this man right away. That guy could be huge for this team. Nothing else. Let's see if we can get some picks. Let's see if we can get a 2nd round pick with all these shitty players we threw on there. Second round, we might be looking to trade up into this draft. Ooh, let's see. Let's give them a 5th round, see what they want. Let's see if they want a 4th round next year, potentially. Ooh, a 4th and a 5th. See if we lock it up for a 4th and a 7th, maybe? But probably have to give that 4th and 5th next year, yeah. Ooh, and we're not able to do that. Do we want to give up a 3rd round? No, let's potentially just take a 3rd round and pick instead. Probably be a lot easier to make an offer on. Let's try a 5th round next year. I am kind of sold on that cornerback. I mean, that guy is definitely going to be a starter. 4th and a 7th, hopefully. Damn, we might have to give that 4th and that 5th. But for how sold I am, ooh, declined. Let's give a 4th for a 4th. Or a 4th for a 5th, I should say. Seeing as how the value of that went down. Football team is at maximum. Okay, so before we make that trade, that's a Ravens trade with Sims Jr. We'll have to cut some players off this roster. Probably look to cut him down here. Trevor, you're terrible. Get off the roster. Let's go through and cut like all the players that are super terrible. So we can free up some space for that trade. I knew this day would come. We'd have to cut some terrible players. Just to clean up this roster a little bit, get all these players with absolutely no trade value off the team. Like 33-year-old long snapper Nick Suttonberg. Not exactly a Madden asset. These dudes are kind of bad. I bet there's worse guys we could cut. Yeah. We'll probably end up cutting those guys anyway. Let's go back. There's just too many guys here. And it's like we could always pick them up because the week's not advancing, so if we want them back, we could always just pick them up. But probably won't make the roster. Let's see, right? Both these dudes have insane trade value, and Chase Young is going to be so hard to give up. Let's see actually what this guy's speed is. He's actually got pretty good speed. See if there's anybody worth dropping down over here. Probably this guy. See if there's like some dude that's super old, and no, they have too many good linebackers. Let's see. 27, definitely don't want him on my roster. This team is going to be overhauled with young guys. $37, he probably has close to no trade value. We'll keep all those guys for a minute. Cole Luke. Your speed's terrible, you're off the team. You didn't make the roster cuts. And then I'll keep both these dudes here. Nobody there that's really worth cutting. Reeves, we might as well cut him. 60 overall. Oh, no, not trade away. I don't have the patience to trade that guy away. I think if somebody wants him, they can pick him up as a free agent. I'm not too worried about getting his, 5th, 6th, 7th round value picks out of that. Obviously, Hopkins is going to have pretty much no value. Kickers tend to have pretty much zero value in this game anyway. Along with punters. I would usually trade this guy away. I mean, I could look if he's got green trade value somewhere, but I mean, yeah, literally not even worth it. I mean, yeah, pretty much not even worth it. I don't even feel like trading a 7th round pick for him. So I cleaned up this roster a little bit. Let's see how many players we were able to get off. Probably still got, yeah, pretty close to 90. So we were working on a Ravens trade. We'll finish that. And then we'll have to start clearing some room on this roster. Ravens are back over here. It was like a 4th round. We definitely wanted Brock Shimer Jr. Was this the man, Eamon Marshall? No, sir. Terrell Bonds. It was definitely this man, was it not? No, sir. Definitely wasn't this guy. It was definitely Khalil Dorsey. And like a 4th round pick for Steven Sims Jr., who's like one of the more low-key green trade values. And let's see. Let's see if we can get it for 4th round. And a little bit better, so we'll have to give him like a... No, definitely not Dan Chincia. We'll give him a 7th rounder next year. And that will do it. Steven Sims Jr. away for B. Washington Jr., who's a stud defensive tackle, like 22. And the real guy who I wanted this trade for, Khalil Dorsey, who's got like 95 speed, 96 excel. So let's go through and see what we need to add to this roster still within the last 3 minutes of this video and episode. So obviously, running back, quarterback, we're both pretty much set on. A receiver, I mean, we'll probably end up cutting this guy or putting him at the back of the roster. These two are definitely trading. So we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn, well, no, let's say. So we got a lot of guys we're going to have to cut off this roster. Obviously, we'll probably cut the slowest guys. I mean, we got so much guys. I want Dan on this roster just for the pure factor that he was on our team and he's got the best speed out of all these guys. I mean, we'll definitely have to cut. I mean, we'll probably trade away Cam Sims and Golden Gandy. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Really? 9 guys? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7 guys that'll potentially make this roster. I'm fine with that. We definitely need a new tight end, I believe. Well, no, we got Hakeem Butler, so we might be sold there. And then we got, you know, a bunch of good backups. Yeah, a bunch of good backups on small deals. Obviously, Thad Moss can be cut. I think Cantrell can be cut. Logan Thomas will definitely have to trade. So yeah, those 4 guys will probably be this roster. Hakeem Butler is going to lead that. And then probably Eric Sobert, followed by, well, it's so close. I'm tempted to put Jeremy Sprinkle in there, and I probably will. Probably put Jeremy Sprinkle and then Eric Clobert as the 3rd with Chrome as the 4th. But that'll do it for this video, guys. Try to keep these under 20 minutes so I don't get too boring here. But cleaning up this roster a lot. We've already got it down to 89 guys before we even, trade and do a bunch of cuts and just try to figure out, down to the smaller details, which one of these guys might make the roster potentially. But thank you for watching this video. Thank you for continuing to support me. Thank you for subbing. And be sure to expect all the new content that I got coming out. Warzone, Rainbow Six, Greedfall, obviously more of this, Red Dead Online, and then Among Us and stuff like that. So be sure to look for all of that stuff and more coming up in the near future.
Baby, I can't lie, you look amazing. Like the models in my Playboy pages. Flashback to my image.